You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
I can hear. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Christine Nicholas. I am the chair of the New York State Tourism Advisory Council, and I would like to call this meeting to order. It is now 11:01 a.m. So I'd like to start, first of all, by thanking those who are hosting us here. It's always nice to be in Albany as well. But I'd like to start to just ask some of our audience members who represent organizations in the tourism for New York State to just go around and introduce yourself. Great.
Good morning, I'm Greg Marshall, founder of Genesee Journeys, an inbound packager and a representation company for businesses in tourism.
Terrific.
Hi, I'm Katie Kilichowski. I'm Senate Toronto's Legislative Director and Communications Director.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm William. I'm Sullivan Moran Kim's District Office Liaison.
Thank you. Okay. Staff.
I'm Sarah Anner with I Love New York in the Division of Tourism.
And I'm Jessica Fulmer, also with I Love New York in the Division of Tourism.
Excellent. So all members have been.
Let's actually go around the table.
Okay. Oh, now we have to go around the table. I'm so
Right.
sorry. Okay, Olga, I'm going to start with you.
Olga Luz-Torado, Communications and Solutions.
I'm Hillary Logan Deshane, Deputy Director at the Wild Center, Natural History Museum in Tupper Lake, New York.
Rich Gagliano, SVP Marketing, I Love New York.
Great.
Ross Levi, Executive Director of the New York State Division of Tourism at Empire State Development.
I'm Rhiannon Edlund, also with the Division of Tourism.
Mike Oates, Hudson Valley Economic Development Corporation.
Jennifer Saunders, Director of the New York State Museum.
Jill Delaney, President and CEO of Discover Albany and President of the Capital Saratoga region.
Tony Tsao, Chief of Staff for Assemblyman Ron Kim. He couldn't make it here today, so I'll be representing him.
Terrific. Thank you so much for being here. Also noted, Natasha Caputo, TAC member, is on her way. And also Dan Fuller, who was hoping to attend because of the terrible storms that we had. He is now, unfortunately, in the midst of a cleanup in his region. So he called in, and I will brief him after the meeting. Okay. So all members have been emailed a copy of the minutes. They're also available on the ESD website. Can I ask the members if they have any changes to the minutes? Okay. None being heard. Motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Hillary, I need a second. Olga, okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. The motion carries. Minutes are approved. So again, welcome to Albany and to the New York State Museum. We're so happy to be here during an exciting time for such an important tourism asset, not only for Albany, but for the entire state. To share more about what's happening here and what's next for the museum, I'd like to welcome Jennifer Saunders, the new director here at the New York State Museum. Jennifer?
Thank you. I am really excited to have you all here today. I've been here for about 6 months, and it has been full speed ahead. So I know you are all aware of the historic investment that Governor Hochul has made in the New York State Museum, and that we all share in her vision of the museum as a major driver of economic development in the region, as well as the museum serving as an anchor for tourism in the region. And we are working really hard to achieve that vision. So we have started with Pink. We started with Barbie, brought in a Barbie exhibit, which has been extended through to April 26th, and we've seen amazing attendance for that. We have also recently announced that we'll be opening up what we're calling a kid zone on the 4th floor, and that will be more hands-on, family-friendly exhibits. And I can't give you specifics, but coming soon, think dinosaurs. We will be opening a major new exhibition about the Revolutionary War to commemorate the America 250 this year on July 1st. And then as well an exhibit later on commemorating the 25th anniversary of 9/11. So we have a lot of new exhibits planned for the museum, and as well continuing a really strong set of programs that will support and amplify those exhibits. The other exciting things, we reopened our gift shop. And we also just recently reopened our museum cafe, which is operated by Stax, which is a local favorite vendor. And we are seeing results. Anecdotal, right now we don't have a people counting system, but donations are up significantly. As well, the gift shop revenues are strong. We opened mid-December and we've had over 100,000 in gross revenue in the gift shop since that time. And just on a day-to-day basis, there's a lot more people in the building. So we're really excited about that energy. And pretty soon we will be getting a people tracker in, and we'll be able to report to tourism professionals like yourselves not only how many people are coming, but who's coming, what are the age demographics, what zip codes are they coming from, so that we can better track who the audiences are here at the museum. So that's all to say there's a lot going on, and we're really excited to be a partner in the broader tourism effort.
Thanks, Jennifer. It looks beautiful from what we've seen. We're looking forward to the tour after the meeting.
Thank you.
And just, if you wouldn't mind, with the governor's gift or the governor's investment, when will that begin to take hold?
So I think Ross is going to talk.
Are you talking about that later?
I'm talking a little. I'm talking about the visioning.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So we just launched a new effort, which is the first step in that. So we'll start with a visioning process, followed by a comprehensive plan, which is really just putting together all of the specifics of what does the building look like, what are our audiences, that information, and coming up with that interpretive plan. And then we'll move into a phased design approach. So that has begun, and we will not stop until it's done.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing the changes, so thanks again. Senator Serrano, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you being here. I know you've had quite a busy time.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you for having me. I know we recently met in New York City, and that was really wonderful in Grand Central, and that tour was amazing. I'll always remember it. Thank you for that. And the work of the board here, the Tourism Advisory Board, is I think, extremely important. As chair of the committee that oversees cultural affairs, parks, and tourism, I feel really strongly about the importance of tourism in New York State. And we talk a lot about it in New York City, but obviously throughout the entire state of New York, tourism is very important to our economic health and economic development. I'm really excited to be here in the New York State Museum. Certainly a lot of good memories here, bringing my children here when they were younger, and even now they'll still come. But it's always been a beautiful, remarkable museum. And I know that there's even more updates and good things to come. But I, being a very easy person to please, I always thought it was wonderful the way it was, right? But I can imagine that additional attention and growth here at this museum will attract even more visitors and make the capital region even more of a destination. In New York City, really happy to see how post-pandemic we're starting to see numbers return to where they should be from a tourism point of view, and our cultural institutions are certainly at the helm of that resurgence. I want to ensure that in our state budget that we have necessary funding to keep a robust and vital tourism sector. Understanding that these things don't just happen on their own. They really do need support, in particular the 250th Commission, that being, I think, a great opportunity for the state of New York to invest in those tourism dollars and all the potential that is there for that. So again, just very excited with the council and grateful to be here with all of you.
Thank you, Senator. We are very excited, I think, also with this upcoming season. As you said, we look ahead. So we're going to look ahead now with my report and then look back to the current. But the governor recently announced that New York State will be hosting 2 free large-scale community viewing events for the FIFA World Cup this summer. I think everybody is aware that FIFA, for the first time, the World Cup will be played in the New York, New Jersey region, but New York is certainly going to be celebrating. New Yorkers across the regions can participate in this historic global moment with events at Stony Brook University on Long Island on Friday, June 12th, and at Kensico Dam Plaza in Westchester County on Sunday, July 19th. Time to coincide with the key tournament matches. July 19th, by the way, is the final match, so that will be especially exciting. Long Island and Mid-Hudson events will feature live match broadcasts alongside community-developed programming designed to reflect each region and celebrate New York's passion for the game while welcoming thousands of attendees. These events are part of New York State's coordinated effort to maximize the statewide and economic impact of the 2026 World Cup that communities across the state, building on Governor Hochul's broader strategy to leverage major global events for lasting statewide benefit. These events complement and the recently announced New York State Community World Cup grant program that was announced at our last meeting. New York City ESD just did a economic estimate, and they believe it's going to be over $3 billion for the World Cup. So between that and, which we'll get into a little bit later with the sail forth, it's going to be a terrific summer for tourism. So back to March. March is Maple Month, which we all know here in New York tourism, and Governor Hochul encouraged residents and visitors to support the state's local maple producers, especially during the upcoming Maple Weekends on March 21 and 22, March 28th and 29th. Additional events and activities are planned for New York State Welcome Centers. Throughout this month, maple farms across the state open their doors for a chance to taste pure maple syrup right from the source and experience the unique family tradition of making maple syrup. Producers offer tours and pancake breakfasts, sell maple products, and demonstrate the syrup making process. New York State ranks second in the nation in maple production and produced 829,000 gallons last year. In addition, New York continues to be home to the largest resource of tappable maple trees within the United States, with more than 2,000 maple sugar maples. You might see them along the road. You'll see like a plastic pipe coming out, and then a bucket below. You know, they're tapping for maple syrup. There is going to be earlier this month, Governor Hochul announced the completion of a new visitor center at the Frank Lloyd Wright designed Gray Cliff Estate in Derby, just south of Buffalo. The $6 million, 4,400 square foot facility complements the recently renovated historic home and grounds and enables the Gray Cliff Conservancy to offer year-round programming, events, and amenities for the thousands of visitors it hosts each year from around the world. State support included capital grants from NYSCA and ESD. Built between 1927 and 1931, the 8.5-acre property overlooking Lake Erie is now restored to its 1930s appearance. The new center features an expanded gift shop, new visitor amenities, and integrated technology enhancing historical interpretation and accessibility, representing the first phase of a broader site revitalization.
Yeah, for those who haven't been, you can see in the picture here, on the left, the building in the back, that is the Frank Lloyd Wright Gray Cliff building. The building in the front on the left is the new visitor center, so you could see how well they complement. Mm-hmm. And they used to have to, if I remember correctly, use part of the Frank Lloyd Wright building itself to welcome people and to have the gift shop, and to now have totally separate area of that and have the building be in its really restored sense of what it was is going to make it an even better attraction.
Looks beautiful. Just this week, the governor announced the start of construction on a nearly $35 million expansion of the historic Shays Buffalo Theater. Driven by an $18.5 million state investment, the four-story, 25,600 square foot addition will revitalize the theater's experience by introducing a new box office, expanded lobby and event space, additional bathrooms, and critical accessibility upgrades, including 3 new elevators. Modeled after European opera houses and listed on the National Registry of Historic Places, Shays Performing Arts Center opened in 1926 and is one of the only remaining Tiffany-designed theaters in the country. Shays welcomes more than 350,000 patrons annually and will continue throughout construction, which is expected to be completed by the end of 2027. I couldn't help but notice the governor during the press conference did mention the number of seats at Shays, which exceeds 3,000, which of course is larger than any Broadway theater in New York City and Manhattan. But who's comparing? I guess the governor is. Last week, Governor Hochul announced signature events to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States, of the United States. It will take place over the Memorial Day weekend and July 4th weekends at Jones Beach State Park. The July 4th weekend celebration will feature the United States Navy Blue Angels as part of the four-leaf air show and fireworks celebrating America 250 on the 4th, as well as the annual air show scheduled for July 5th and 6th. Some activities over Memorial Day weekend will include a first-ever drone show with patriotic themes over the Atlantic Ocean, historic reenactors, period music, demonstrations of colonial-era cooking, and more. These events launch a series of monthly 250th themed programs hosted by state parks throughout the year on Long Island titled Revisit the Revolution. As you will hear later from Ross, I Love New York continues to promote commemorative events and historic locations and share inspiration guides for 250th anniversary. Before I conclude, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that following this meeting, at 1 o'clock, the 250 committee, the New York State 250, will be also having a public meeting here at the museum, but I believe up on the 4th floor. So, 7th floor.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so all are
Moving
welcome. Moving up. Okay. So now I'll turn things over to Ross.
I don't know if you want to recognize Natasha.
Natasha Caputo arrived. Oh, I didn't see you. I did mention you were on your way, so welcome, Natasha from Westchester. I will turn things over to Ross for an update on the I Love New York programming.
Great,
Thanks,
thank
Ross.
you, Christine. I want to start off my report with a fitting announcement for today's location, as Jennifer was alluding to. Last week, Governor Hochul and State Education Commissioner Rosa announced members of the New York State Museum Visioning Task Force. ESD Commissioner Hope Knight and I were both appointed alongside a diverse group of nationally recognized museum leaders, government stakeholders, educators, historians, tourism professionals, and economic developers. Our goal will be to help shape a clear, sustainable, forward-looking framework to guide the museum's long-term vitalization, as Jennifer was alluding to. As part of this effort, the museum will also conduct a robust statewide community engagement process, gathering perspectives from educators, families, cultural organizations, and residents across New York. This will help to shape future investments and ensure the museum continues to evolve. The task force will guide future phases of the work by helping shape a strong vision for the museum's future, and I'm very excited and looking forward to serving on the task force as we bring New York State into a new era. So that's going to get underway very shortly. Christine was alluding to the work we've been doing getting ready for 250, and indeed, I Love New York's Path Through History team, headed up by Jess Pulver, who's here in the audience today, along with our digital team, is heading up our 250th commemoration campaign. The ilovenewyork.com landing page now includes additional resources, highlighted events, trip inspiration surrounding Revolutionary War sites and influential New Yorkers, and there's still more to come. Events included on the I Love New York calendar are now also included on the national America250.org calendar. So when you're on one here in New York State, you're also on the national calendar. Submissions are coming in frequently. We now have over 80 events included. Information on adding events related to America 250 is going to be going out to all 700 plus official Path Through History sites next month, so encouraging more participation for those who are part of Path Through History. Our digital marketing team is hard at work producing several videos showing a range of ways to experience and commemorate America 250 in New York State, and we're excited to show you more of that at our next meeting. And we are continuing to collaborate with state parks and state ed, along with the entire New York State 250 Commission. Jess Pulver presented at the last New York State 250 Commission Summit here at the State Museum in February, where she covered the digital calendar, I Love New York's efforts, and how to work with us to promote 250. So obviously we're just trying to get the word out to everybody. It's free to be listed on the calendar. So if anyone has any events, if you all work with anyone that have any events that's connected to the 250th, please encourage them to go to our website and get the information to have those events listed. Even before the July 4th sort of culmination, Path Through History weekends are again underway. The first being June 20th through 21st, Father's Day weekend. A great excuse to get Dad out on Father's Day. And then again this fall, October 10th through 12th, which is Columbus Day weekend. New program materials for this year's Path Through History weekends include language on America 250, and a digital campaign to drive awareness and attendance to weekend events will launch in May ahead of the first weekend. We started that a couple years ago and seen incredible results. Pays to advertise, so letting folks know about all those great events that will be happening across New York State. Switching over to I Love New York LGBTQ, coordinated by David Turley and supported by Rachel Stewart on our team. We're busy this winter. We have too much pride in New York to be contained just to summer. We actually partnered on 2 LGBTQ ski weekends. The 3rd annual Catskill Pride Ski Weekend was held in January at Bel Air Mountain. You can see the group shot on the mountain there. The event brought hundreds of participants to the Catskills in Hudson Valley for 3 days of events both on and off the mountain. Events included an afternoon tea dance, a heated rivalry-themed après-ski party at Graham and Company in Phoenicia, and a drag show hosted by Paige Turner at the Rosendale Theater. We are very thankful to our partners at Ulster County Tourism, the Olympic Authority, and Bel Air Mountain, as well as our community partners, the LGBTQ Center in Kingston and Big Gay Hudson Valley. It was a great time. Again, these events, the first year, you're nervous about how it's going to go. The second year tells you you're there. And the third year, it's just grown exponentially. So we're excited to see that continue to thrive. The second Adirondack Winter Pride was held in Lake Placid earlier this month in partnership with Roost, Adirondack North Country Gender Alliance, the Olympic Authority, and Whiteface Mountain. Events at the Adirondack Winter Pride included a skating party on the Olympic Oval, an après-ski party at Cloudspin Bar and Grill, and a drag show at Twisted Raven. I Love New York LGBTQ activated at both Winter Pride events, including our I Love New York Pride sculpture, which people love getting their picture taken with, and LGBT-focused map trivia games, so people could be learning about great destinations across the state. Participants from across New York State attended, along with visitors from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, and DC, so we know it's serving its purpose of inspiring travel to the state. These Winter Pride events continue to get bigger and better every year, and we look forward to continuing our partnership and promotions of these events in future years. So it may not necessarily feel like it, but I Love New York has officially made the transition from winter to spring. Our spring marketing campaign launched on March 2nd. Our editorial team has published blogs already on ilovenewyork.com, including affordable spring getaways and 26 things to do this spring, highlighting classic spring activities across New York State, like the various flower festivals and making the most of Maple Month, which you've heard about from Christine. With our spring marketing campaign comes our annual New York Blooms Report. We've had presentations on that at past TAC meetings. That will be launching next Wednesday. Weekly reports will highlight where different flowers like magnolias, cherry blossoms, roses, and tulips are blooming across the state. And the report will be accompanied by digital ads as well. This has been running for a few years now, and it's been very successful. We currently now have 45 sites representing all 11 tourism vacation regions participating with us on the New York Blooms Report. So those includes experts at arboretums and gardens and parks. So we have real experts reporting back to us on what's happening with the flowers, and we're excited to get that started next week. Those are a lot of our consumer-facing efforts. I also wanted to touch, of course, on our travel trade work. 7 tour operators and 3 I Love New York International reps visited New York State in February for a Winter Wonders Global FAM. We obviously are showing the state off year-round, but a lot of people still kind of think of New York as fair weather, and we wanted them to be able to see how amazing New York is winters as well. Our travel trade vendor TAP, along with 3 reps from Australia, Canada, and Germany, led the group on an 8-day trip across the entire state. They started in New York City and then made stops in Monticello, Ithaca, Canandaigua, Jamestown, Niagara Falls, and Buffalo. And then from there, the whole group then flew from Buffalo back to JFK. We did that intentionally so that they could experience the ease of visiting Western New York, particularly on an international basis, and still using New York City as a hub for a great whole New York State vacation. Participants provided overwhelmingly positive feedback on the post-FAM survey. Tour operators shared that the itinerary provided a great introduction to different regions, and the firsthand experience will help them better understand how these destinations can be better packaged for their clients, which at the end, of course, is the goal. At the last meeting, I previewed my trip to Australia on behalf of I Love New York for a variety of promotional and sales activities. I clearly made it back. It was an amazing trip. Over the course of 2 weeks, 7 flights, 5 hotel rooms, I participated in consumer activations, tour operator meetings, and trade shows. That included 3 different events put on by Visit USA, which is the group of travel professionals that are promoting travel from Australia to the U.S. We had events with Visit USA in Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney. Then Brand USA, which is the I Love New York of the whole United States, the US DMO, held a Brand USA B2B marketplace, which we participated in Sydney. And then International Media Marketplace, IMM meetings, were held with travel journalists in Sydney. While I was there, and with the timing being perfect, while Sydney Mardi Gras was going on, probably after New York, the preeminent pride event in the world, we partnered with the LGBTQ tour operator Planet Dwellers to host several activations. To kick off Mardi Gras weekend and cap off our multi-week in-store campaign with them, we hosted a consumer event and takeover in their high-traffic storefront. That's the center picture there. That's their storefront. It looks like an I Love New York pop-up store. That's actually their travel agency, and they let us take over that store for this promotion that we had going throughout Mardi Gras month. And on Saturday, we hosted a pre-parade reception for close to 75 tour operators and travel journalists at a VIP parade watch party. I was joined there by Reginald Charlot, who many of you know from New York City Tourism and Conventions. You can see the picture on the lower right. Reginald's there in the blue cap. He spoke at our pre-parade event, and then I was able to have the opportunity to attend and speak at New York City's trade lunch reception. So it was a really great collaboration to let people know, of course, that you're going to want to travel from down under to come to New York City, but make that part of a whole great New York State vacation. To close out the trip, I hosted a lunchtime Q&A program with Justine Schofield. She's a celebrity chef who hosts Australia's Everyday Gourmet cooking show. We had an event that helped launch the Everyday Gourmet's 6-episode New York State series that just launched a week or so ago in Australia and an additional 30-plus syndicated countries. So Justine and her crew, you can see that's on the upper left, me and Justine having our Q&A. Justine and the crew spent 2 weeks cooking across New York State, filming the entire way. And the event we hosted to launch that welcomed 25 VIP trade and media from several Melbourne-based operators and publications, including Luxury Escapes, Hello World Travel, and Aspiring Vacations. In between all those events, we also had meetings with key trade partners like Qantas Airlines. So a busy but very productive trip. The general sense in Australia is, there is still a lot of enthusiasm from New York. The exchange rate is an issue, some border crossing issues, but in general, very strong feeling about New York State. And so we continue to work that market and hear a lot of good response and desire to come visit New York. For some industry support news, in February I attended the quarterly DMOs of New York State meeting in Ithaca, where we discussed working together to continue promoting New York State in the group sales market. Earlier this month, Sarah Emmer, who's here, and David Turley attended the NYSTA Tourism Summit, the New York State Hospitality and Tourism Association. Along with their lobby day, NYSTA hosted a new tourism showcase where I Love New York tabled alongside DMOs from across the state, statewide organizations like Coney and Nistia, as well as Taste New York locations around the state. NYSTA held the event to highlight the resources and organizations that are promoting New York State destination and attractions. And as always, it was great to see so many DMO and TPA partners and share information about New York State tourism. Looking ahead, we're excited to attend Nistia's annual conference, the Empire State Tourism Conference, taking place in Utica next month. And then shortly thereafter, also excited to participate in Manny's annual conference, the Museum Association of New York, being held here in Albany in May. And then lastly, as Jennifer mentioned, the updates and modernization of the State Museum are part of Governor Hochul's $400 million commitment to revitalizing downtown Albany. Since we're here in Albany, we wanted to take a moment to let you know about all that's happening here. In addition to partnering with State Ed on the museum revitalization project, Empire State Development will be overseeing $200 million of that investment, which will be awarded through 3 targeted funds: $40 million for housing, $40 million for community investments like parks and public spaces, and $120 million for large-scale transformative projects that will help to energize downtown Albany. So obviously, tourism and visitation are big pieces of that puzzle, and any opportunity to make improvements that bring residents and guests downtown is going to support jobs and economic growth. More information on those specific funds, the Downtown Albany Strategy and Governor Hochul's CAP initiative, are available on the ESD website. But we, of course, wanted to spend a few moments digging into what's been happening in tourism here in Albany and the greater Capital Saratoga region. And so to do that, we're very pleased to welcome Jill Delaney, who's the president and CEO of the TPA here in Albany, Discover Albany. Jill.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here, and sure, I'll figure this out. So to touch a little bit on the Downtown Albany strategy before I go into some of the things that we've actually done, because I know this is a big deal for us, not just for downtown, but the impacts will be felt across Albany County and the region. This is definitely an opportunity. I know people say there's lots of studies, there's lots of opportunities that come and go. This one is different, and it's very tangibly different to those of us who have been involved since the governor hatched this incredible plan and continue to be involved. I'm excited to have been appointed to the Museum Task Force because the recognition of tourism's role in all of this has been there from the start. What this project has already been for our downtown is really catalytic. It's been a catalyst for change from the moment it was launched. We currently see about, based on what is considered from MIG, the firm that did the study for this project, we're seeing about 3 million visitors annually in our downtown. And the goal of this is to reach 5 million annual visitors. So obviously that is a big lift for us to participate in, and we're excited about it. We're not seeing a big stay here in downtown from our visitors. And there are definite need times that we need to make sure we're focused on as we look at this. We know at Discover Albany what our visitors are looking for because we can track what they're asking about on our website, what their searches are, and I'm sure that Jennifer will be very happy to see that the top 2 searches for attractions in all of Albany County are right here at Empire State Plaza. And we want to make sure that with all of the other investment, that $200 million that's being invested across downtown, that the $200 million that's focused right here between the New York State Museum and the Capitol also make sure that that is brought into the fold because it is so important to our visitors. We've already, as I mentioned, seen some of these positive impacts. Many of you have probably been to Jack's Oyster House. It unfortunately had to close its doors right as it reached, I believe, 100 years in business, and the pandemic was not kind to it. Reopening proved to be too challenging, and a firm, as soon as this $400 million was announced, a private investment firm, Neo Vista, already bought up Jack's and several other locations in downtown with development plans. So it's not only the money that's going in, it's the spark that is inviting other investment. And we're seeing that happen, and it's already changed. Neo Vista has already participated in our 75th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, for example. So it's really being felt. So we're very, very grateful for this investment. But there's been lots going on and lots to come, whether or not this investment was here. We've had some major economic impact events that happen across Albany. Sports, huge for us here. CrossFit Games is one that we just hosted this past year, and that had a little over a $7 million economic impact. Because it brought people in internationally, we were able to host athletes from around the world here in Albany in a way that made the athletes feel so incredibly welcomed. There were several comments, really nothing negative that we saw on social media, which is incredible, saying that it should always be here. And the reason we believe that that is the case is not only because we rolled out the red carpet for all of these athletes, and because we have state, county, city facilities that are really accessible to them, but because when you come to a destination like Albany, where it's a small city, they own the city when they're here, right? This is a citywide event. When it's held in LA or Dallas, it is not. They are one of many events happening at the same time. So we know that we can make them feel very important when they're here, and that makes them want to come back. Film is still a very important part of what we do as well. Our DMO services, as many do, as the Film Commission, the Sports Commission. You could see the people dressed in Gilded Age attire next to a CDTA bus, and I love that image shot by our previous mayor. Oh, that's not me. Sorry. So I have a couple more notes that weren't in the slides, but we are collaborating on programming region-wide with the Capital Saratoga region, which is 6 counties, FIFA World Cup. Obviously, the games are not here in Albany, but we are surrounded by cities that are hosting the games, and pretty much equidistant driving for people who are coming in from all over the globe. It's an opportunity for us to tap into a potentially new audience for all that there is to see and do here as a region. Rather than go after this as an individual county, we pooled our resources using some matching funds for this and some of our own dollars, have put together a come for the soccer, stay for the, and each county has kind of their own unique, is it culture, is it excitement, is it adventure, and there's a campaign targeted at the actual ticket holders. So we really honed in on the one firm that has access to those ticket holders. So we're hoping that that brings them in and encourages them to participate. We've also been given a grant by the REDC to host our own watch parties here. So that will give us access to viewing rights and being able to give our locals and those guests who are stopping over in Albany an opportunity to watch the games in a really festive atmosphere, and driving some money to our local businesses. We are focused, as everyone is, on America 250, and so the Albany 250 Commission has been doing a lot of connecting. We're not in the business of party planning, as I know that a lot of people are like, what do you do in a big event? No, there's a lot to do here always. You know, Battle of Saratoga happened there because you don't want it to happen in Albany. If you haven't seen Hamilton, or you haven't seen it in a while, give it a listen again. Albany's mentioned a lot. It's important to the revolution, and a lot of what we're planning needs to continue because July 4th, 2026 is not the 250th anniversary of all things America 250. It is merely the beginning, really. And so a lot of our own celebrations will continue. We hosted with our friends in Saratoga and throughout the state and even into Massachusetts, the Henry Knox Noble Train of Artillery. And that actually had bitter cold day, but it really gave everyone an experience of what it was probably like to be a soldier at that time, doing this at the Van Schaik Mansion in Cohoes, which is in Albany County. So it was actually a really well attended, very cool experience for all that were involved. We do have grants to encourage those assets within Albany County who can participate in any way to really think creatively about how they can embrace the commission, and have more than $17,000 in awards already out there to encourage participation in this. We've also obtained a Hudson River Valley Greenway grant to create driving tour brochures and video content, and really with a long-term goal of connecting trails with all of the 250 partners across the region to create itineraries that will live on beyond the anniversary. And I think that I'm probably out of time, but we've been doing a few things in Albany, so.
Thanks, Jill. And best of luck with everything with the getting people to those locations, including the Schuyler Mansion, which is not far from here.
It is a huge
Alexander
part of
Hamilton's
every
in-laws,
story.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
You did watch Hamilton.
A few times, yes, and I've driven by, but I haven't taken the tour yet.
Oh, please come.
Yeah.
It's a really great experience.
Yeah, and I was here for a lacrosse tournament. You talk about all of the regional
lots of
stuff.
sports.
So while the kids were practicing, I went around, but it was the Sunday morning, so it wasn't open at that.
We'll get you in
We'll
next
get
time.
I'll get back. So at this time, and this is a bit of an abbreviated meeting because we have the 250, but I did want to give the TAC members a chance to tell of any new business that they might have, and then also the audience if there are any events that we should be aware of. TAC members? Natasha?
I just want to make sure everyone marks their calendar. July 19th, working with our state partners in the governor's office, there's a World Cup watch party at Kensico Dam that we're very excited about. And then October 24th and 25th for our Rooted in Westchester 250th commemoration is Rev Fest, and that is a 2-day, and that is really supported by the ESD grant, which is I just want to use this as an example. We've already secured multiple motor coaches coming into the Hudson Valley in that region and anticipate quite a bit of attractions there. So thank you.
And I'd love to mention a couple save the dates as well. There is a Maple Weekend in the Adirondacks as well as around the state, as Ross noted. We've got a Maple Pancake Brunch this Saturday, March 21st at the Wild Center as part of our Community Maple Project, also supported by our ESD grants. And then the Wild Center turns 20 this year, and as part of the 20th anniversary celebration, several things are supported through I Love New York and our ESD grant, including our Trolls traveling exhibition. So Thomas Dambo's Trolls are coming to New York State for the very first time. That's an international phenomenon. And so on the 10th of July, mark your calendars if you're going to be in the Adirondacks to come to our birthday celebration, our anniversary celebration. Martin Sexton's going to be singing again. He was at the opening. And you get a chance to see the Trolls, the traveling Trolls, and all good things. It should be a great party. It's free and open to the public, but you've got to get there. Thank you.
Hudson Valley EDC has created a tourism and hospitality coalition in the Hudson Valley, bringing together a number of our hospitality developers, tourism destinations, folks like Mohonk, Mountain House. We had a kickoff meeting there. Legoland, some of the other bigger destinations, with an idea of getting those developers, those investors together to provide them with some business training, networking opportunities, access to capital, cybersecurity training, impact of AI on their businesses. So there'll be a series of meetings that will take place over the course of the year, and we're happy to include you guys in that as that continues to grow.
Yeah, I did actually a site visit at Clark Estate a week ago, and they were very excited about that project.
Yes,
so it sounds like it's going to be great.
Yeah, perfect. One of our good partners.
Terrific, thank you. Any questions for the TAC members? Okay, well then, I want to remind you all that our next meeting is on May 12th at 11, and that's at the boardroom at ESD 655 3rd Avenue. So, okay, and I need a motion to close from the TAC members, Mike, and I need a second. Okay, Olga. All right, so, and I have to announce the time, 11:45 for the record. Thank you all, appreciate it, and the motion is carried. I didn't hear any objections to close the meeting, so, all right, thank you very much.